Let's go to Finland.
Okay, so the first question is what am I learning about myself? And one of the first challenges I had here was that I could not figure out my way around. Like, I could not figure out how to use a map. I guess because I've never really had to use one before. And so I definitely learned that I rely on my phone and technology so much more than I thought that I did. And now I can read a map, not great, but I know how to use it and how to use the compass on my phone to get around. So that's helpful. And what has been the most challenging experience? I would say for me so far, it's really challenging the language barrier, just because here a lot of older people don't speak it, but me and one of my roommates went to a town called I think that's how you pronounce it. But no one there spoke English, and we got dropped off on the side of the road, and we had no idea where a bus stop was. And we tried to talk to like all these different people, and no one had no idea what we were talking about because they didn't speak English. Um, or like maybe they could understand, but they couldn't like tell us. They like they just couldn't. Like we could see the struggle, and they just couldn't do it. So eventually, we were asking this man, and this 15-year-old girl like comes up and helps because she speaks English, and so she like told us where to go, and so we finally found our bus stop, and it came like 2 minutes late. So for those 2 minutes, we were really freaking out, but it was a good experience to just try to break through and figure out what to do. But I guess since English is their third language here that they learn, because they learn Finnish and Swedish and then English, it's more difficult, especially in the um, like small cities or towns, I guess. So that was very difficult to adjust. And even people here, a lot of people came here to learn English. Like my roommate, she's from Czech Republic, and she told us that she came here to learn English. And so there are a lot of exchange students which are really hard to understand when they're speaking. So I have to remind myself to speak slow and just really try to understand what they're saying so that I can like make friends with people and get to know them. And I guess also challenging would be like public transportation and like figuring out how the grocery store works and stuff. Like I missed my train one day because I didn't know that like you had to get on a bus because like the train had work on it, so it closed for the day, and you had to get on a bus, and it's hard figuring stuff out and like knowing what it means. And then like in grocery stores, the first couple of times I didn't know that you're supposed to like put it in a bag and then weigh it and then you put a sticker on it. I thought that you did that like in America, how you just like get your stuff and then you weigh it at whenever you check out. And the lady like looked at me and then like was about to say something and then just went and did it, and then I didn't realize it for a couple times when somebody finally said no, like you have to weigh it back there. It's like, oh, okay. And then how do I deal with homesickness? Well, I talk to my family as much as I can, and so I think that that helps, but it's really hard since it's 7 hours because my family doesn't get home until 6 o'clock, and that's 1 a.m. here. So I try to talk to them on the weekends, but usually I'm doing stuff on the weekends, so it's really hard. But I also try to just stay active and like go out and meet new friends. And I meet people in my classes, but I think that the main places that I meet people are like at parties, like school junction parties, or at like trips. Like I went to Norway with an ESN trip, and I met a lot of great people, and everyone that was in my cabin I'm still really good friends with now. So I think that that was a great way to meet new friends because in class like there's really no talking, and we just kind of sit there and listen and then we leave. So you do like meet a couple people, but it's not as great. as like going out and actively trying to meet people, like at parties and trips and stuff like that. And then finding places to eat is not like that hard at all. They have a bunch of pizza places here, which I found unusual, but they eat a lot of pizza, I guess. And okay, so things that are different from the States here in Finland. I actually have some written down in my nice handy journal that I've written so much in because I have so much to say. There's just so much going on. And so they don't use grocery bags here, or if they do, you have to pay for it. So if you want grocery bags, it's 20 cents per grocery bag. So you just bring your own bags and you pack it yourselves. So that was just something very unusual, and I actually just happened to run into it on the internet before I came, so I made sure to pack some extra bags so I could pack it. But my roommates had never heard of it, so they were completely shocked whenever they came, and no one was putting their bags into groceries. Could you imagine? And then they just have so many more opportunities for you to recycle and stuff. Like they push it so much more than they do back in the States. They have these little things the in the stores where you can put cans in and bottles, and then it'll give you a receipt with like money on it, so you can go spend it in the store. So I mean, obviously that promotes recycling so much more than back in the States. And also, people don't really smile and nod here and wave. You know, when you see someone on the street, you know, you're like smile if you make eye contact. But people just tend to stare here. Like they just kind of like stare at you, which is very unusual. It's very different than back in the States. And it's also considered rude to tip in Finland. So you don't tip anything. It's just included in your meal, I guess, because things are expensive here. I don't really understand that. And then they eat everything with a knife and a fork. I don't understand it, but I got a hamburger one day and french fries, and these people were trying to tell me that I need to go get a fork. And me and my roommate were like, what? Why do you eat your french fries and a hamburger with a fork? That makes no sense to us. But they eat everything here with a fork and a knife. So that's just very different than back home. And they also, so there's so many things that are different, but those are just the ones that have really stuck out to me, I guess. Just the little things that you notice, like how they bike everywhere. Little people bike, old people bike, and young people are always outside because they have 15-minute breaks every 40 to 90 minutes, and they're forced to be outside, I guess. And so anytime during the day, whether it's 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. or like 8 a.m., there's always kids outside, which is crazy. I'm like, why aren't you in class? That's very unusual. I have not gotten used to that. And then they bike around by themselves with no parents. It's crazy. I see little kids all the time biking by themselves, and I don't understand, but it's a lot safer here at nighttime, which now it's starting to get dark at around 5. Yeah, and it's very cloudy all the time now, so it gets dark really fast. But even in the summer, well, in August when I came, there's little kids biking around at night by themselves. It's like, what? You're by yourself? Shouldn't they be an adult? But I guess not. I guess I've gotten used to a lot of the changes where you kind of just have to, you know, put yourself in the mindset and like go along with it. So I don't know. I think for me, I've definitely learned to exercise more. Also, this sounds kind of bad, but I never really realized how much of an American privilege I had coming over here. Just little things like 24-hour stores, Walmart. I could always go there. Places here close at like 8 or 6 or 10. And so for me, that's crazy because everything back home opens and like stays open so late. And then like, simple things like right now is like 13 Nights of Halloween on Freeform or ABC Family. Um, and then the 25 Days of Christmas. No one knows that here, but like that was the time that I would spend with my mom baking cookies. We would just turn on the TV and watch whatever movie was on and bake Christmas cookies. So it's just little things here that people are like, what? Like, I've never heard of that. I'm like, oh, well, it's in America. Um, Also, they don't call it America because I tell them that, and then they go, oh, are you from Canada or or the States? I was like, no, like, I'm from the United States of America. So I guess they call it the States, so I've said it more the States now whenever I meet people. And then I guess I've just been dealing with the differences as anyone else. We talk about it. Like I have two American roommates. So like we talk about that and that's really helpful to see their opinion and see everything that's different with them, and how they're doing with it. I think just talking really helps. And then just getting used to it. I mean, it's not that big of an adjustment, so it's fine. And a message that I would send out to fellows that are that are about to study abroad: definitely research about your country because every country is different. Um, it's crazy how many things are different here, and just little things like grocery bags that I would never have thought to bring them, like bags to put your groceries in. I never would have thought to bring them. And then just come in with an open mind, you know,